The first thing you need to do is you need to go to aplusstudents.com. You need to go to the website. Once you're on the website, you need to log in, select math as your subject, and you need to go to grade 3. This is the grade 3 lesson. Okay. The topic for today is number and comparing. The topic is number and comparing. The chapter number is chapter number 1. Okay. And the lesson is lesson number 6. 1 minute, please. Let me just confirm. And the lesson number is lesson number 6. Okay. Lesson number 6. And the name of the lesson is Skip Counting. So counting is something like we know that whenever we are counting, like we are counting fingertips on one hand, we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Skip counting is like knowing that there are 5 in one hand, 5 fingers in one hand. So 2 hands will have 10, 3 hands will have 15, 4 hands will have 20. That is skip counting. Okay. So let's go to the topic. Let's see. Let's look at the questions. Okay. Okay. The questions we have is the question says, how many cubes are there? Count by tens. Okay. So if I open this up and I say, the question is saying count by tens. Question number 1. So what we do not have to do is we don't have to count everything, right? We have to count by tens. So let's see how many cubes are there in the first picture. Okay, let's label it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? So if each of them have a 10, 10, and a 10, right? So what we do is we add them together. We know that 10 plus 10 would be 20, right? And 20 plus 10 would be, if we add 20 to the 10, that the total comes out to be 30. Rather than doing 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. This was very long. When we were counting everything, it took a lot of time. But if we know how many cubes are in one stack, and we have 3 stacks over here, right? So we can simply say if one stack has 10 of it in it, so that means 10 plus 10 is 20, and 20 plus 10 would be 30, right? So we can say there are 30 cubes in all together, right? How many linking cubes? There are 30 cubes. Rather than counting each and every, what we do is we count the groups. Okay. So let's see in the next question, what do we have? The next question says, okay, let's count by tens. Okay. Sorry, count by fives in the next question. Okay. So I'll just write down question number 2. And question number 2 is, we need to count by fives. I'll make an additional copy so that we can reuse this. Okay. So question number 2 says, can we count by fives? Count by fives. It means count by the multiples of 5, right? So can we say how, just confirm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If each basket has 5 tennis balls, that means we can add 5 plus 5, right? And when we add them together, that means the total is 10 tennis balls. Agreed? So what we are not doing is, we are not doing this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are not counting this. We are directly Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Semi. No, it would be 10, right? 10 means there were 5 in the first and 5 in the next. That means 5 plus 5. Either we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. But easier is to add. Yes. Thank you, Sami. Okay. If I would use the same question and I would increase the number of balls, right? Buckets. Okay. Let's suppose if we had 2 buckets and now we have 4 buckets over here. Okay. Let's say if we have 4 buckets. So can we count these? How many would be there in 4 buckets? See, if each bucket had 5, right? That means 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, right? Either what you can do is we add them together, this becomes 10. We add this together, this is 10. And 10 plus 10 would be 20 tennis balls in 4 buckets, right? Because we are doing the count by fives. Okay. But what we are not doing is we are not doing this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. If we are counting each and every tennis ball, that means we are putting in a lot of time. So what we do is we just see how many were there in one bucket, right? If we know the quantity for one bucket, we simply add it 4 times, right? There are other ways to add also, which we will look at later, right? Hi, Precious. Welcome to the class. So what we are doing is we are counting bucket 1 and we're adding them together, right? Okay. So let's have a look for the next question. How many ice creams are there? Let's count by fives, okay? Okay, let me just copy this. So question number 4 says, how many ice creams are there? Let's count by fives. This is our question number 4. And I would increase these ice creams. Okay, I'll just write this over here. So how many ice creams are there in one stand? We can say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And how many stands are there? One ice cream stand, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? That means if there were 5 here, 5 over here, 5 over here, 5 and 5, right? So that means we need to add 5 times. You don't have to write every single, no. Baruch, it would not be 30. Let's count again. See, easiest way is 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. And we take this 5 as it is, right? 10 plus 10 was 20 plus 5, right? So can we say there are 25 ice cream cones, right? Agreed? There are 25 ice cream cones because there are 5 packs or 5 stands of ice creams for us, right? Thank you. So in this question, what we need to consider is this requirement. They are asking us to count, but how much they are asking us to count by? They could have asked us to count by tens also, right? So we count by fives, okay? Okay, the next question we have, it says, how many ducks are there? Let's count by twos. Let's count by pairs, right? 2 is a pair. Okay, so let's suppose if these were the number of ducks we had, I'll just increase the number of ducks. Okay, let's say these were the number of ducks we had. How many pairs of ducks can we see? Because we are counting by twos over here, right? 2 is a pair. Birok, it would be 25, right? 25, because we know that for the previous question, 5 plus 5 was 10, right? 5 plus 5 was 10. Then 5 plus 5 was 10. Agreed? And 10 plus 10 was? What is 10 plus 10? 10 plus 10 was 20, right? So when we add 20 to 5, yes, 20 plus 5 would be 25, right? Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Precious. Biruk, let's count again for the next question. See, how many pairs we can see? We can see 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 4 pairs, 5th pair, and we can see 6 pairs over here, right? That means if each pair had 2 ducks in it, 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2. If each pair had 2 ducks, that means 2 is added how many times? 6 times, because there are 6 pairs. So what I prefer doing is 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. And 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 was? We have to count by twos. That means 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 should come out to be 12 ducks. Okay. We are counting by twos, right? Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Let's look at the next question. Let's count the number of skis by twos. Okay. Let's count the number of skis by 2. I'm going to change the number of skis. So just give me a minute, please. If these were the original number of skis given in the question, let's change the number of skis. Okay, just changing a smaller value. Okay, now if I say this is the given question, question number 6, and we need to count by twos, right? By the multiple of twos. It's okay. It's okay. Let's do this. Okay. How about this, Ligbay? Ligbay? How about question number 6? If we have, yes, thank you, Semi. We know there are 2 over here. We know there are 2 over here. We know there are 2. So we simply add the 2's. 2 plus 2 was 4. And 4 plus 2 would be? Yes, thank you so much, everyone. There would be 6 skis, right? Okay. So, yes. See, what our requirement is, what they're asking us to count by, right? If they would ask us to count by 5, we would do by 5. If count by 3, we do it by 3. Count by 10, we count by 10. So depending on the question that we have, see in these questions, they're asking by count by 5, count by 2, count by 2. So depending on the question, we do the counting, okay? So in this next question, I would, okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 7. Okay, and let's make it a little more difficult. If I would say these were the chocolates given to us, and I would add a box. We can always do these questions by comparing these values to our everyday life, right? If we buy a box of chocolate that has 10, if Semi, let's focus. If you buy a box of chocolate which has 10 chocolates in it, right? We can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There were 10 chocolates in a box. That means how many chocolates would be there in 3 boxes? Semi, if each box had 10 and we bought 3 boxes, what would be the total? We know that 10 plus 10 would be 20, and 20 plus 10 is, yes, thank you, Precious. There would be 30 chocolates, right? In total, in 3 boxes. Okay, the next question. The next question we have is, they're talking about the number of candies and we need to count by fives. Let's see. Sorry. Just a moment, please. Okay. For the next question, they're saying you need to, how many candies are there? And you need to count by fives. Okay. Let me change the number of candies. Question number 8. Let's change the number. Okay. How many total candies are there if we are counting by fives, right? If we are skipping the count by fives. How many candies are in the first pack? 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? That means, no, I changed the question. Precious, can you see? 6 packs. We have 6 packets over here, right? If there were 3 packets, the original was 3 packets, that is 15. That's perfectly correct. But if there's 6 packets over here, that means this packet has 5, these 5, 5, and 5, right? So 6 packets are there. So can we say 5 is added how many times? 6 times, right? Plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, right? 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10 and 5 plus 5 is 10. When we add them together, 10 plus 10 would be, yes, thank you, Precious. And thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Reggae Boy. That would be 20 plus 10, and finally comes out to be 30 candies, right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a bigger numbers. If they are the original was 15, I changed it to 30, right? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Semi, and thank you, Precious. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, how many rubber gloves are there? Count by twos. Let's just give me a minute. I'll just change the value. We're not counting these 4, right? 4 is very simple for us. What we'll try to do is change the number of gloves. Okay. So if these were the pairs of gloves given to us, let's count the number of pairs of gloves. Okay, for question number 9, we need to count by twos. We need to make pairs. We know a glove would always have a pair. 1, 2, right? How many pairs are there? We can say this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, so thank you. Bigger boy, that's fine. That is 13 and 14, right? But we are not counting like this, right? How are we counting? We are saying that this is the 2 in this pair, 2, because we need to do the counts by twos, right? So we say there are 2 over here, 2 over here, and 2 over here. So 2 is added how many times? 7 times. 4, 5, 6, and 7. This would be 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. And the last two come. 4 plus 4 was? 4 plus 4 was 8. Plus 4 plus 2 is 6. And 8 plus 6 would always be equals to 14 gloves, right? Right. But if they would ask, if they would change the question, right? If they would ask us how many pairs of gloves are there, if the word would have been how many pairs, then how many pairs would be there? Let's see. This is the first pair, right? 1 pair. We have 2 pair, 3, 4 pairs, 5 pairs, 6 pairs, and we only have 7 pairs, right? So if the question has a different wording, if the question says how many rubber gloves are there, that means 14. But if they're talking about pairs, that means a pair is always done in 2. So there would be 7 pairs, right? 14 gloves, 7 pairs. Okay. Let's have a look at the next question. Oh, hearts they have. How many hearts are there? Count by twos. For the next question, question number 10, this is the question given to us, and they are asking us to count by twos. Count by the multiple of twos. So the total number of hearts would be, we have 1, 2, we have 1, 2, all pairs have 2 hearts in it, right? 2 plus 2 plus 2. That would be simple. 4 plus 2, that is 6 hearts. Agreed? Becca, focus. Okay, let's count the number of elephants by twos. They're asking us to count the number of elephants by pairs. Okay. So the next question we have is this. Let's just try to increase the number of elephants. Okay. And let's say if we have these number of elephants. So how many pairs of elephants are there? Baruch, how can it be 30? Are you talking about the previous? No, there's no 30. 30. How many pairs, how many elephants are there? We can see there are 5 pairs of elephants, right? And each pair of elephant has 2 elephants. That means 2. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca, Aiken, Precious. Okay, Semi. Okay, that means the 2 is added 5 times because they are 5 pairs, right? That would be 4 plus 4 plus 2. This is 8 plus 2. That comes out to be 10 elephants in total. Okay. For the next question, we need to find the number of, sorry, we need to find the number of dices. Okay, let's suppose if the given dice are these, we need to find the number of dices there are by the count of twos, right? Let me increase the number of dices. Okay, and if we say we have two more over here. Okay, so in question number 12, we have these many dices, right? So how many dices would be there in total? See, we can, if we have to count by twos, we can make pairs of twos. There is one pair, second pair, right? Second pair, that means there are two together. Third, fourth, fifth pair, sixth pair, seventh pair, and the eighth pair, right? Yes, thank you, Rebecca. Oh, thank you, Precious. Thank you, Legabo. That means the total are 8 pairs. That means 2 plus 2, right? 4 pairs, 6 pairs, and 8 pairs. That would be 4 plus 4, 4 plus 4. This is 8 plus 8. And that means the total there are 16 dice. What we would not do is, we would not do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, right? If we are doing this working, we are counting each and every one of them. That means we are counting by 1, right? We are counting by the difference of ones, but they have told us count by 2. So we make pairs of 2, right? Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Aiken. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to make pairs. A pair would always have twos in it. Okay. Having a look at the next question. Okay, this is good. How many birds are there? We need to count by fives. Okay. Let's say the 13. We need to count by fives. So how many birds are there? If we are counting by the multiples of 5, the first pair had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means there are 5 birds on each branch, right? 5 plus 5 and plus 5, right? That means 10 plus 5 is equals to 15 birds in total. Yes, thank you, Precious. There would be 15 birds. Okay, let's have a look at another. Okay, this is good. How many marbles are there by the count of 10? Okay. How many marbles are there by the count of tens? So we can say there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That means each of them have 10 marbles because we are counting. We need to do the count by tens. That means multiples of 10. That means 10 plus 10 plus 10 because they were 3 sets of marbles, right? And this would come out to be what? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Liga Boy, Precious, my piece. So we can say 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 10 would be 30 marbles in total in 3 packs, right? very good. Let's say, okay, how many rings are there? Let's count how many rings are there. We need to count by twos, okay? So while counting the rings, let's say if this was given to us in this manner, let's add some more. Let's say this is this, and we say we add two more over here, three more over here. So how many rings are there in total? How many rings are there in total? Because we are doing a count by twos, by a pair of rings, right? So we see two together. What we can do, the lengthy work would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. This is counting by ones. Thank you, Precious. This what I did was counting by one, but we don't have to do count by one. We have to do count by twos. One pair, two pairs, right? A pair would mean there are two in it. Three pairs, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 and 8, right? There are 8 pairs. That means 2 is added 8 times, right? We are doing it by the count of twos. And that means 4 plus 4. Wait, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, sorry, there are 9 pairs. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. This is 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 8 plus 2. That is 16 plus 2, and there are total 18 rings, right? So we need to follow the requirement there is in the question. The easiest is count by one, but counting by one will take a lot of time, right? So what we say is we count by twos. So we see how many pairs of twos are there. There were total 9 pairs, right? So if there are 9 pairs, that means 2 is added 9 times. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay. They're asking us to find the number of sushis there are in the next given question. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, let's say if I would increase the number of sushis by this. So how many sushis are there in question number 17? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chef. Okay. Rebecca, what is the answer for question number 17? Rebecca, can I have the answer? Yes, thank you so much, Rebecca. We are counting by 10. Thank you for the answer. That means if each of them have 10 in it, right, we add 10 4 times because then there are 4 platters, right? This would be 20. This is 20, that is, and the total comes out to be 20 plus 20 is 40 pieces of sushi, right? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Precious. Baruch, in the first plate, I'll just do this again. On the first plate, there were 10 pieces, right? On the second plate, there are another 10 pieces. On the third platter, there are 10 pieces. On the fourth platter, there are 10 pieces again, right? So can we say 10 plus 10 is 20? Okay. 10 plus 10 is 20. 20 plus 10 is 30. And 30 plus 10 would be 40 pieces, right? Biruk, it would be 40. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's do a question or two more. Then let's try the test. Okay. Okay. The next question says, oh, how can we count this by tens? Okay, sometimes you need to confirm, right? Okay. The next question says count by tens. The cups. The cups have been stacked in form of a pyramid. We can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That each of the pair would have, each stack has 10, right? 10, 10 cups and 10 cups. And we need to count by tens. So finally, the 10 would be added 5 times. First stack, second stack, third stack, plus the fourth stack and the fifth stack. We know that 10 plus 10 is 20. We know that 10 plus 10 is 20 plus 10, right? Now what we are doing is counting by 20s. 20 plus 20 is 40. Plus 10 would be 50 cups. Yes, thank you for the answer. Thank you, Precious. Thank you, May. Okay, there would be total 50 cups. Yes, thank you, Peace. That's 50 cups, okay? Okay. Let's say if I would try to make this question as, I'll try to do two questions out of this, okay? Okay, let's try to make it as two questions. Okay. First time they're asking us to count by twos and a different count. Then after these, let's go to the test, right? How many eggs are there if we are considering the first one? How many eggs are there? There is 1, 2. That means each pan has 2 in it, right? How many pans do we have? We have a total of 5 pans. So adding them together would mean 2 is added 5 times, right? 2 plus 2 plus, or let's suppose if we say we have one more pan. Okay, let's just add one more pan over here. That means 6 pans. There's a reason I'm doing 6 pans over here. For the next question, I'll explain 4. And now what we are doing is we are doing adding by 4s. That is 8 plus 4. That comes out to be 12x, right? Now I changed. Okay. I added one more pan. 6th pan. Okay. There were 5 pans. I changed it to 6 pans. So it would not be 10 anymore. Precious and May, it will change to 12, right? Right? Agreed? Precious and May, your answer will change, right? Okay. Okay. Why I did this was I wanted to change the question and I wanted to say how many eggs there if we are to count by a dozen. Okay. What is a dozen? What does the word D-O-Z-E-N? What is the meaning of a dozen? See, when we go to buy eggs, we buy by a dozen, right? We can buy fruits by a dozen. Okay. Dozen means 12. A box of 12 would be a dozen. So how many eggs are there? We need to count by a dozen. A dozen would mean we need to make pairs of 12 together, right? If they are 12 together in one, that means we have 12 eggs, which would be equals to 1 dozen of eggs, right? So I just wanted to introduce a new word, that is a dozen. Yes, thank you, chef. Okay, but it's just a general information, right? We change the question to create a new word. So if we are counting by twos, a dozen would mean count by 12, right? Okay. Okay, let's do a few questions from the test. So I'll go to the test. Let's try a few. Let's begin. Okay, 1 minute, please. I need to log in back. Grade 3, chapter 1, lesson number 6, test. I understand these are very easy, but we are just trying to revise everything, okay? Okay, the first question from the test says, how many hearts are there by the count of twos? But what we need to remember is, whenever we are counting by twos, we cannot have an odd number as the answer, because odd number is not a multiple of 2, right? Oh, sorry, why did I write step? I would write test. Okay. So the first question we have is this, and we need to do by the count of twos. So how many hearts are there? A, B, or C option? Yes, Baruch, you have a question? No, May, you gave an answer that was 72. No. See, May, I would explain this again, right? A dozen means 12 paired together. A dozen means counting by 12. So if there are 12 eggs in question number 20, that means it is 1 dozen, right? They're not 72, right? They're only 12 eggs. When we count them, they are only 12 eggs, right? So we can also say 12 eggs is equals to 1 dozen of eggs, okay? Do we agree, May? Okay. Okay, thank you. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay. Yes, thank you, Rebecca. It's option A, that is 6. We can also say there were 2 over here, 2 plus 2. We need to do the count by twos, right? So we say 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 would be 6 hearts, right? Yeah, it's just a few more questions. Okay. So we click on the first option. We say that is the correct. Okay. How many dice are there by the count of twos? Okay. Let's do this. Quick. Question number 2. Can I have the answer? We say we have how many pairs? 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pairs, and 4 pairs, right? And each pair would have 2 in it. Yes, thank you. So what would be the final answer? Semi, how many dices are there? If we had 4 pair of dices, right? If we had these 4 pairs. Yes, thank you, Rebecca and Precious and Leggy Boy. That would be total of 8, right? So thank you, May. There are total 8. Yes, Baruch. Thank you. Okay. Very easy questions. Okay. Let's just do one more. How many skis are there with a count of 2s, right? Just this question. Question number 3. So what can we say about the number of skis? How many skis are there in the total? There are 2 skis over here, and there are 2 skis over here because we are doing count by 2. And 2 plus 2 would be? Yes, it would be. What should be the answer? 2, 6, or 4? Yes, thank you, Precious. It would be 4. Okay, very easy questions. Give it a try, complete the questions. And if there is any difficulty, you can just go through the lesson again, right? So thank you so much for being there. Thank you, May. Thank you, Precious. And okay, option C. Thank you. Thank you, Lega Boy. So please do complete this and have a nice day, okay?